And we're back with another episode of NBA Observations, a special live show of NBA Observations. It's Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for joining us. I thought since we're going to do it in the evening, we might as well want to hear your thoughts because we are 1 week away, less than technically 1 week away from
Yeah.
the trade deadline. DBSH, yo, what's going on, my friend? Happy Thursday to you as well. Again, less than 1 week away from the trade deadline. So we thought we'd talk about a few things concerning those trade rumors out there. And here today to discuss, well, I said to all the guys, but Legend is here, of course, from I Got Next Sports Media. Wanted to make sure, especially that I talked to him. But if any of the other guys jump on in, they're more than welcome as well. It is, of course, Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Legend, great to have you here. Once again, I'm Gerald Glassford from the Lakers Fast Break, Lakers latest pop culture cosmos, and all that good stuff. So great to have you here. We're talking the NBA trade deadline. Legend, it's going to be a busy week ahead, my friend.
Oh, it is. This is going to be, to me, the most funnest part of the NBA season when the unexpected happens, or maybe something we expect to happen. Or I love the surprises. Though. I mean, I don't think nothing gonna top last year with the Luka part. Though. That's hard to top.
Yeah, it is hard to top, especially because we didn't see that coming. And irony of all ironies, Lakers, after tomorrow's game, will be headed to MSG. It was the New York Knicks game. And right after, when all the hubbub of Luka, as far as being traded, that all came about. So interesting to see how it will all lay itself out this year. JSJ, what's going on, my friend? Great to have you here. Great to have everyone here talking some NBA observations. We're talking, first off, though, the news that broke yesterday with Giannis Antetokounmpo, who still says he didn't ask for a trade. So how do you ask for a trade when you don't ask for a trade? So you asked for a trade, but you didn't ask for a trade. So you're finally, Milwaukee said, fine. We're taking a lot of offers. We're getting a lot of calls. We're getting a lot of inquiries. But he's okay with being traded now. So I guess that's the best way to say it. So Giannis does not look like the bad guy in Milwaukee.
That's what I think what he's doing, trying not to look bad.
He's going to get his name retired there. He's going to get, I don't know, maybe even a statue, all this. Doesn't have to worry about his image. He's good. The people understand. They're in 12th place in the Eastern Conference. They get it. He's not going to look like the bad guy if he asks for a trade. It's just, again, he asked for a trade without asking for a trade. But be that as it may, there is some timeline differences whether or not he gets traded now and over the summer. So let's weigh the advantages and disadvantages before we get into the teams. The advantage for Giannis, if he is traded now, falls more in line for the team.
Yep.
Because the fact that as far as the team now pretty much can dictate where they want Giannis Antetokounmpo to go. If this does not come to pass and he is still a member of the Milwaukee Bucks come the offseason, well, he has the ability to sign an extension and be offered extension in October. Well, you would think if he's in the offseason, if they're still going ahead of being traded, whatnot, then probably the shift of control leans more towards Giannis in that situation. Your thoughts on that, my friend, as far as how this will weigh itself out? Do you think that Giannis will be traded sooner or later?
I'm gonna go with. I think he'll be traded by this trade deadline because I think it would be just a bad decision for the franchise to not capitalize on much as you can get for Giannis. Because to me, if you let him take control of the situation, he can choose to go wherever you want to go at that point. You're not gonna get as much as you could have got back, and to me, you're setting yourself up in more of a mess. So I feel like you gotta get the most you can get for somebody like Giannis. You just can't let him walk away for maybe, I don't know, 2 draft picks and a role player or something like that. Like you got to get a maximum. You need to get a bunch of first round picks, and at least a decent.
Again, my apologies for interrupting, but if you wait to the summer, again, while Giannis will have more control, more teams could have more assets in the summer.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. I ain't think about forgot all about the draft people have more draft picks available. So that is true. It's gonna come down to who can really make a really good offer right now. But if it were me, if somebody give me something really enticing right now, I would go and make it happen. Make it happen. Just begin the rebuild process, and it's going to start. Especially if it's somebody on the West Coast, I'm not worried that much because it's not a conference mate, I guess you would call it. I'm not worried. I'm not competing with them.
Okay. I'm just asking because again, I mean, if you're in the Milwaukee front office, you're thinking that it is more advisable to do something sooner rather than later because you could be offered the greatest thing in the world, but if Giannis is not going to sign an extension, then that
Yeah,
team that is interested probably will not remain interested going forward. So again, the shift in power and control of where Giannis gets traded changes from right before the trade deadline to in the summer. But the pieces that could be involved get a little bit better and more spicier, and more teams could be involved come the summer as well. But the rumors have today, as of today, the four main suitors,
probably the ones I
uh,
heard.
yes, are your Golden State Warriors, the
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota Timberwolves, the New York Knickerbockers, and also as well the Miami Heat. So with that, my friend, each of them have some pluses and minuses, whether or not they can offer expiring contracts, whether or not they can offer young talent, whether or not they can offer draft choices. Now, one of the hot and heavy rumors is the Golden State Warriors. Your mileage may vary on what they can offer. I believe what I've said, I thought it was three, but it's four
Yep, four
first
first
round picks.
rounds.
So four first round picks. So the leader in the clubhouse of those four teams, as far as how many picks they could trade, I believe is Golden State. Two of the other teams, Minnesota and New York, I believe cannot either trade a pick or they can trade only one first round pick. And I believe Miami has like two, if I'm not mistaken, or
Mm-hmm.
is it
I
just
think
two?
it's two.
Okay, two, and then players involved. So let's start off with your Golden State Warriors. I'm Minnesota, John Hurst. I'm in the front office, and you're calling me on the phone. You've got me on the bat phone. You got me on the line. You get started ringing. Okay, what's up, legend? You're running Golden State Warriors. Why am I supposed to be intrigued by what you can offer me as far as for Giannis Antetokounmpo right now?
My biggest sell will definitely be I will give you a young up and coming piece out of Kaminga. I'm gonna give you them first 4 round draft picks. And the part where I'm gonna say the draft picks are so to me a really good pickup is because you knowing that Steph is already 37, Giannis is 32. By the time you start getting these draft picks, this team is gonna start being pretty bad. You're gonna start getting some pretty good first round draft picks off of us being bad. By that point, Steph should have went down a good bit. Giannis should have started no longer being Giannis at that point. We should be in a rebuilding mode just about at that point. So I feel like that can make a really good selling point off them for draft picks. And then we'll even throw in Pod or one of our other young pieces too. We'll throw that in there. And if we need to add Jimmy to the pot to make it even sweeter, that's fine with us too. We're willing to make
Okay.
that.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring our friend out. I'm hoping ESPN doesn't kill me on this, but we're going to see if I can get away with it. We're going to bring out our old friend, the trade machine. So, and by the way, I'm thinking about really strongly doing a mock trade deadline deal next week, and I'll see if I can schedule that in there. But
Oh,
we're
that'd
going
be
to go
fun.
ahead and see if we can do that because you and Laker Top really did some trading on that one episode we did. So I really like that. So let's actually no, let's not put the Lakers. No, not now. Let's put Milwaukee because that's the team that's not going to change in this scenario. Milwaukee right there. So let's put your Golden State Warriors. So let's put Giannis Antetokounmpo in the mix. You said to me, Jonathan Kaminga
Yep.
and Well, to make the money work matching dollar for dollar, it starts off with Jimmy Butler.
Yep,
So I'm assuming you're trading Jimmy Butler as well. Is that correct?
that's correct.
All right. So you said Jonathan Kaminga and Podziemski, Rodell
Yep.
Johnson's favorite player, and I say that sarcastically. So that's $80 million going out. So if I'm going to go ahead and say, and plus the 4 first-round draft picks, okay, we'll go with that. So if I'm going there, what am I going to give you back that I'm really just thinking that would help sweeten the deal? Because I'm not 100% convinced. What I would
Mm.
do is I would ask you, how much do you value Miles Turner?
He will help with the big situation because we've been needing the big for a long time. That will help us.
That would help you because the thing is, am I going to get $100 million of production out of Miles Turner, especially after Giannis Antetokounmpo is gone? My guess is no. So I'm going to throw him in there, and that brings it to almost dollar for dollar about that. But I do know Golden State is near the tax line, and Milwaukee is also near the tax line. So I'm going to see if that works. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Miles Turner for Butler. With Butler, the deal is okay. Yeah, he blew out his knee. He is going to got another year on his contract, but that's 54 million coming off the books for 2027. Jonathan Kaminga, I'm not in love with him, to be quite honest with you. Let me go ahead and hide that there. I'm not. Hey, what's going on, Danny? What's going on, JSJ?
It's
Do
good,
I
Danny.
want? Well, no, JSJ. This is an NBA show, and do I want Golden State Warriors to be good? It's again. I'm just throwing that out there. They're doing these deals on their own, and even with this lineup, okay, you throw out there Miles Turner, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Stephen Curry with whatever they have left in Golden State. I'm still pretty confident that's not enough to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oh, but I think it gets you a lot closer, but it doesn't get you close enough, in my opinion. I still think you're going to lose enough that maybe it might be worrisome, but maybe not. Maybe not. So we'll see. So if you say that, but you give me 4 first-round draft picks, because I could throw the Kyle Kuzma deal in there instead of Miles Turner, and that would just that would ensure you guys never coming close to Oklahoma City. That would really be a deal if I did that.
Oh yeah,
That's
I've
a
been, I've been like, oh man, threw me Kyle Kuzma.
that's a bad deal in and of itself. But that's only 2 years. The thing is, Miles Turner, I'm just not sure I'm going to get $25 million of production from him over the course of 4 years. I really don't, especially on a bad Milwaukee team. I really think that okay, put it this way. If you send Giannis Antetokounmpo out of town, guess who also is the next person that will be traded either this trade deadline or line or next, and that would be Miles Turner because
Yeah,
it just the purpose of him being there was to go alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo to appease Giannis Antetokounmpo, and if he's gone, then you're just doing that. So what else am I thinking that I could sweeten it? Because okay, so Giannis Antetokounmpo and Miles Turner coming back is John Butler, Kaminga, Podziemski, and 4 first-round picks. I am not 100% sold on Kaminga. He's a poor shooter. He's not a focused defender. There's reasons why he's been in the Kerr's doghouse. Not necessarily all Steve Kerr's fault on that one, okay? Because there is some Jonathan Kaminga to blame there. Okay, he does
right.
not walk on water on this one. It's a partial deal. Although again, Kerr is just as much as fault as him. That relationship is gone. Is there any one other player that I would like to seal the deal with that? I'll tell you what, if you could throw me in a pick swap around 20, 30, or 31, I think you have a deal. I think you have a deal. How about that? So you get Antetokounmpo and Miles Turner for Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kaminga, Podziemski, and 4 first-round draft picks and
I
a
was,
pick swap.
you got a deal. It's Giannis. We taking it.
All right. All
We like the
right.
Lakers. I'm not walking from Giannis. Let's go.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And there you go. So again, that's just out there. But yeah, just thought it again. That's the type of deal you would be looking at. It isn't great on player wise. I'm not again. Podziemski has been very up and down. Kaminga is well. We've talked about Kaminga. YYC, good luck on trying to get more than four or for Giannis as far as like and YYC. Remember, Desmond Bain did go for four first, but some
He
one of
did.
those first, at least one of those first was to get off that really bad KCP contract because he was terrible last year.
Yeah, he was awful.
And he has got a undervalued contract right now, even in Memphis. So they paid an extra pick to get off of that contract as far as it's concerned. So, yes, obviously, Legend would say yes, yes. So I'm just saying that would be the deal for me. Because again, if Giannis gets traded, Miles Turner would get traded soon after or within the next trade deadline, anyways. But yeah, if you want to stick Kyle Kuzma in there and kill the deal, or
Yeah,
well, then
I've been like, mhm.
would you say no to Kyle Kuzma instead of Miles Turner?
I'll probably try and work a third party and then like, do you want Kyle Kuzma? Because I don't want him.
Well, then you'd have to give away more picks because nobody
Oh,
wants Kyle Kuzma.
I'd be like, it gotta be Miles Turner. Take it or leave it. I gotta have Miles. I'm gonna ask the first time I ask the Milwaukee Bucks,
So you will
what do
walk
you what
away
are you
from
gonna do
Giannis.
with him?
So you will walk away from Giannis Antetokounmpo if Kyle Kuzma is in the deal and not Miles Turner.
I guess I want no choice to take. I'm just taking it because I don't want Kyle Kuzma, but
Nobody wants Kyle Kuzma
I
right
mean,
now on that
anybody
contract.
else don't want him. Why we stuck with him?
That's well, again, Maxi Kleber's on the Lakers for a reason, Legend, and it's not because of his play or his contract. He's on there because you had to get him to get Luca, and the same thing with that. So I don't expect Golden State to do that as far as both Miles and Giannis, but I'm just saying that that's one of the deals that they would probably put some type of filler of Kyle Kuzma, but I would say for me, putting in there four firsts and either one or two more pick swaps in order to get Miles Turner and Giannis Antetokounmpo probably would be there. But I still don't think that bridges the gap enough between for this
I don't
season.
either.
But it does make your team substantially better. But the second team I want to talk about with is Miami. Another classic episode. Oh, thank you, T3. I truly appreciate the compliment on that. So yes, the next Giannis Antetokounmpo destination is going to be Miami as a possible destination. Now, Miami, I believe we talked about it. It has up to two first round draft picks that they can trade, I guess, is what I'm saying. So Giannis is out there. So let's go ahead and put back that up on the trade machine. Again, ESPN, don't give me a copyright block, please. So Miami, who's that? YYC says Miami has the worst trade package. So let's evaluate how bad that package is. So Giannis Antetokounmpo will start off with. You'll probably, if I'm first offering you Kyle Kuzma. They don't. Well, actually, before we get into Kyle Kuzma and all those pieces and whatnot, let's go say, okay, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You want to, if you're Pat Riley, try to pair him up with Bam Adebayo.
Right.
Okay. So you're not moving Bam Adebayo in the deal. So you're going to have to move Tyler Hero in the deal. Doesn't
Yeah,
excite me a lot, but there you go.
yeah, because they're gonna want some moving pieces over there.
I'm going to say, would you, if you're Milwaukee, what would you want next out of that deal?
If I'm Milwaukee, I would probably continue to look at more of them younger pieces, just because if I'm gonna go through a full rebuild, I might well go a lot younger pieces that might end up becoming something down the road, or maybe even good trade pieces possibly to build around maybe the next person you can possibly get. So
Well, the real young player that they have that is intriguing. Triple J is a nice piece, but Khalil Ware is the one that people talk about as far as him getting an established playing time and a role, because he doesn't really have an established role because they don't like him playing alongside Bam a whole lot. So when
and he's not
he's
the
in there
dispenser.
by himself, he's highly productive, but when he's not, he's sitting on the bench.
That's not a bad piece. And he's not that expensive. Got a couple years on his contract too, so that's a plus.
Mm-hmm. Can the Lakers trade for Giannis? That's something we'll get into, Silver, but I don't think you'll like the answer that I have to say on that one.
I don't think they like my seeds on that one.
Yeah. So I remember Miami does have a couple first rounders, not the amazing amount that Golden State has to offer. So you've got Khalil Ware, you've got Tyler Hero.
You
I
got to
know they
move
want to move.
starting contract.
If you want the expiring, you get Terry Rozier because he's got that legal trouble. And in return, you're going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. So let's say I want to dump Pat Riley. I want to dump Kyle Kuzma into your lap. So there you go. You dumped out Kyle Kuzma into their lap. Hmm. All right. If you're only giving me 2 picks, legend, is Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, Khalil Ware, and 2 picks enough? There's going to be some other filler that you have to do because there's a $10 million difference here. Is that enough? Because to me, I don't think that's attractive enough.
Like I said, I just don't like the package that you're getting from the Heat that much. It's kind of a weak package.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Tyler Hero part. Everything else is kind of yeah.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and remove that as far as Miami, because it doesn't sound like you're really enthused with what Miami has to offer. Let's go with another team of the 4 that's in there, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I
So
like what
let's.
Minnesota has.
Yeah, you're already saying I've given you that call, and my guess is that you wouldn't be interested in Rudy Gobert, no matter how much I try to tell you to take Rudy Gobert.
Nope.
And you would probably take Julius Randle and
yes, sir. Give him to me.
Would you McDaniels or Naz Reid?
Ooh, Naz Reid. I like the stretch 4. Man, give me Naz Reid. Give me Naz Reid. I like the stretch 4.
Okay,
it's hard to find a good stretch 4 in the league.
And that's $2 million difference there, so you'd have to make up for difference on that. My guess is that they would again try to stick Kyle Kuzma on there, so you'd probably have to include maybe DiVincenzo or something like that just to make the money work out as far as it's concerned. Or you could put JD McDaniels in here. Yeah, and it almost makes it dollar for dollar. So, okay, let's do that. Let's say Antetokounmpo and Kuzma for Randall, McDaniels, Reed. But the thing is, they don't have first-round draft picks to give.
Oh, man. See, they had a first-round draft pick. I would have been like, you got to do.
How many first-round draft picks do you think they'll need to get in order to go ahead and move that deal for you?
Because of Giannis, I want as many as I can get. Give me about 2 or 3 of them bad boys. I really would like 4, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. The last one on the list of the major contenders. Again, we're not even including OKC, Houston, and San Antonio, who, if they decided tomorrow to be in the mix, guys, they could easily, I think, even they could outdo Golden State because they have the players. Mm-hmm. Golden State doesn't have the players. Quite frankly, enough that would, for me, move the needle. But again, they have the picks and the draft choices with all 3 of those teams. But they're not, again, right now, supposedly, as of now, not been calling Milwaukee for that. So if you're doing a Antetokounmpo, dollar for dollar, again,
I already knew
Karl Towns, who got 20. The good news, he got 22 rebounds last night. The bad news is that didn't do a whole lot else outside the 22 rebounds. I don't know, this season for him, I mean, it's still 20 and 10, but they don't love him in New York. They've already let him know they don't love him in New York, and so that's a marriage that's already destined to break up at this point. But my guess is that what I'm hearing is that OG Anunoby is the guy that's probably going to be put in the deal along with it because that's the name that's been mentioned attached to most as far as is concerned. So if that's the case,
Oh, let me get that Miles Turner up in there.
yes, and they only have I think one draft pick or no draft picks right now. Keep that in mind. So let's say you of the players of the teams with players to throw at you, they have the best right now that could do it as far as OG Anunoby and Carl Towns. And so that and that that's not actually that probably won't do it. Let's not do Miles Turner right there, Kyle Kuzma. So we'd have to get the money to work out another $18 million. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
that's a little tough to
but
get.
okay. Well, let's say that they could work out the cap gymnastics on that. They'll probably have to work a third team in there as well. But Carl Towns and OG Anunoby, yeah, Tony, that's what we were talking about. That's as far as they concerned. That was the first deal that I was making with Legend, with his team Golden State because they have 4 picks. The problem is how much are you how much are you in love with Kaminga? B, you sit on Butler's money for another year, and C, is Podziemski going to actually be a consistent player out there for you? That those are the questions I think. Yes, but you get the four picks out of it, and if they have a pick swap, I think I'd ask for that too. But your thoughts? The best players to come back in a Giannis trade would be New York, most likely. Your thoughts on that, my friend, as far as that viability for the New York Knicks?
I think the New York Knicks definitely gets a lot better. Having Giannis versus Carl, that's a lot better to me. That's better than having Towns. I think that's a good move up for them. And then Anthony can Towns can pretty much start over, have a chance to be in a new city, and ain't no pressure. Go out there, put up some good numbers, sell some tickets. Be pretty much the franchise player at this point. They're building around you, so you can go there and not have that big city like pressure on you. I think Giannis will do very well in New York. I think he'll do well. Stephen A will be in love. He'll be celebrating.
Yes, that's true. So let's okay. This is a Lakers channel, so I would be remiss if I didn't try to see what the numbers could look like for the Lakers. Now, the Lakers, as of this moment, have only one draft pick, first round draft pick, a second round draft pick, but they have up to five pick swaps they could throw at you. So it would start off with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know that everybody on this planet would love for me to go ahead and click on this button right here,
Not gonna happen.
but not going to happen. But I would give you the world's leading supply of expiring money. So that's Rui Hashimura. We'll start with Gabe,
Oh boy,
Maxi.
cardio Gabe.
Yep, Cardio Gabe. And then the question is, a perfect fit on this would be Austin Reaves.
I about to say you throwing Austin Reaves in there?
If I'm throwing Austin Reaves in there,
he in a big market.
you tell me. Would you do that and a first rounder and 2 pick swaps?
Reaves to me is probably the best thing on the whole thing. Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent. This ain't
Well,
it.
that's just they're expiring. You're just they're
Well,
coming
that
off
is
your
true.
books.
They come off the
They're
books.
all those guys, Rui, Gabe, and Maxi are coming off your books, and to an extent, Austin Reaves as well.
The picks ain't that great either, though. They just I can get better picks from the other teams, though. Austin definitely.
I will tell you that 2031. Okay, the Golden State pick, the latest Golden State picks, and the latest Lakers pick, which is they're both 2031, 2032 in that range. Those are attractive because you are gambling both Luka and Steph will be gone.
That's the part I'm looking at the most. Is the fact I know they're gonna be terrible. I know Luka is not gonna be bad in no time soon. No time soon. I wouldn't do it. No.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I just unless they have Nico Harrison over there, but no.
Yep. So there you have it. But Silver, I did that for you, my friend, because I wanted to show you the viability of what basically, essentially, the Lakers don't have a chance unless even if Giannis said tomorrow that he wanted to become a Laker, um, that would lean a little bit into the process. But again, as I discussed at the beginning of the show, right now the control for where Giannis goes is more in the hands of the team. If nothing happens and the deal isn't made and it gets closer to the summer and it's in the summer and they want to make a deal, then the control leans more towards Giannis, because whoever team that he goes to, he has an option year. Excuse me, he has an option that he could sign a extension that he could sign in October. And if he doesn't like where he's at, he could just say no. I'm going to become a free agent in the summer of 2027. So essentially, he'd be a rental. So that's pretty much what to think about there. But yeah, if he'd said tomorrow I want to be an LA Laker, it would have some influence, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be as influential as if he said it in the off season and if he's still a Buck. So
I think for him to get to the Lakers, it has to be him demanding that to make that happen.
YYC, if Giannis, if Turner is traded with Giannis, let's just say the legend, because that's probably where if you're trading 4 first round draft picks and maybe throwing in a pick swap, or if you have, I don't know if do they have pick swaps or no in Golden State.
I got to double check. I can't remember if they had some.
Well, if they do have some pick swaps, that's what they'd have to do in order to get both of them. But if they do that, because Giannis by himself, YYC, does not make Golden State a title contender, most likely. Do you agree or disagree on that?
Yeah, I don't think it'll make them title contenders either.
Okay.
I think it'd be close, but it need a little bit more. Like one more.
Giannis on New York right now, would it make a title contender if you sent away Cat and OG, as what is most talked about on the show, on those rumors?
They do got pick swaps. They do.
But would he be a title contender if he's on there without Cat and without OG on the Knicks?
I would say you got a very good chance of getting out of the East because the East is a lot easier.
It's the
for
East.
sure.
Miami. How about Miami alongside Bam Adebayo?
I don't think it's gonna be that easy with Miami. I feel like you got less help. Your talent level go down. Your supporting cast not as great.
And of course Minnesota.
I think you and Oklahoma will probably go head to head with each other at that point.
So do you put them in title contention with Giannis?
I will put them in title contention if they can get him.
Okay.
I like you already got Anthony Edwards, young star already. And you still got a lot of, especially you managed to keep like Nas Reed too. That's another big help. You managed to keep him without losing him.
Okay. So if you don't lose Nas Reed in Minnesota and you trade Jaden McDaniels and Julius Randle away, but you get in Giannis, you make them an instant contender.
I think you can make up some of your defense if you bring in Miles Turner. That can make up for some. And then it's gonna be hard to build a wall around Giannis if I got Nas Reed sitting at 3-point line, just sitting there.
But the thing is, they don't have picks. They don't have the picks to give, and that's the problem right there. By the way, correction from the show yesterday. I think it was Laney that I was talking to. The floor in Minnesota, it's not raised. I saw it the game today. Earlier, was watching it on Twitch of all places, and it does not appear raised to me. I thought it was, but it's not. No, it's not raised like it is in Cleveland. Cleveland may be the only one in the NBA that's
I'm not for sure why they got to raise the floor. Even that line, we don't got to raise floor.
Yeah, exactly. It's just weird. They they don't have a they don't have a hockey team. Yeah, they don't have a hockey team at the NHL level. So that's Even if that's the case, that shouldn't just matter because you just throw the floor right over it. But anyways, getting back to New York and Minnesota of the 4 teams would get them closest to a title this year on that. So and I guess I could agree with that. I could agree with that. YYC says if it was the Spurs, maybe they would be. If it was the Spurs, okay, let's say if it's the Spurs,
you're gonna have to give up some of that young pieces.
Oh, you will. Yeah. But again, if the Spurs, the Rockets, or the Thunder called tomorrow, those three would instantly be
Yeah.
ahead of all those teams that we talked about
Yep.
on that. So because they have draft picks,
And the
they have
best
young
supporting cast.
players, and they have big contracts that they can move that would get the money. So let's go ahead. San Antonio. Let's go with the San Antonio. So Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, you can't trade Fox. Devin Vassell's name would be easily added to that list. Then you would go Harrison Barnes, who's an
Yep.
expiring. Uh, and then you would probably have to go. I would probably trade with that. I know they would ask first for Stefan Castle. I would try to see if I could give them Dylan Harper. Would you trade for that scenario right there? Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, Dylan Harper, and multiple draft choices.
I get to keep Stephen Castle. That's a good deal. So I will make it happen.
Well, no,
I
if
feel
you
that
were in
was,
Milwaukee, would you take the deal?
oh yeah, I would still take it. I still get some nice young pieces.
Okay. Okay.
And I get some good draft picks too.
Defense wins. Yeah, we started off with the Warriors. Yeah. Again, if Giannis and Steph don't cross the finish line against OKC, I don't. We think that it's not. There's too much of a gap
Yeah.
with what you have left over. But if they get Miles Turner, because we did the numbers earlier today, earlier in the show, defense. If Miles Turner comes along with Giannis, along with Steph, then because Miles Turner was traded to Milwaukee specifically just for Giannis Antetokounmpo. So if Giannis gets traded, why would you keep Miles Turner? So if you trade Miles and Giannis, and we found a deal that makes the money work with Golden State, with for Jimmy Butler, Kaminga, Podziemski, and maybe another piece add on to it, and 4 first round draft picks, I would say that gets you much closer to
Mm-hmm.
OKC on that. But it would have to be with Turner thrown in. It
You
can't
gotta
just be
have
with
Miles. You just
yeah,
got to.
it cannot be with just a Antetokounmpo and Steph Curry. It's just that's just not enough, in my opinion. But the Spurs, if they get Giannis Antetokounmpo, as we just showed you on there, that would be something right there. OKC,
It's over
yeah,
with.
yeah, it's over with. What about Houston? I mentioned Houston earlier, and we can take a look at that. That's the thing. Houston has a lot of young pieces, has draft choices they could trade, and they have a big salary in Van Vliet that covers up a space. Although that is for another year on top of it. So let's go ahead with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Where would you go first with the Houston Rockets?
Mm,
If I'm Milwaukee and I'm calling Houston and I'm just saying, okay, I got all these deals from all these other teams, but I don't love it. I already know Steven Adams is out for the year with an ankle
yep.
injury, just announced. He just got that surgery. We know what's going on with Fred VanVleet. Most likely is going to either not playing the entire season or he's going to come back at the very least the playoff time as far as, the possibility. What would you do? What are you asking for if that's the case?
How many do they got any first round draft picks?
They do. Yes, I think they have 3 or 4. I'm not entirely sure, but they have multiple. They have a ton of draft picks. They don't have a ton, but they have a lot of draft picks going forward. They have more than most of the teams that we're talking about.
Definitely with the draft picks. If it was me, they probably don't want to let him go. I probably want Thompson, one of them young players, one of them up and coming young players.
So you want Thompson, or
I would
did you
want,
say, or did you?
I would want him. I
You
probably
want
either
Thompson?
that. I want either him or Shangun.
Okay. What would it take if I just want to give you Thompson and I would have put in Tari Eason or Reed Shepard? How many picks would it take?
Give me 4 first round draft picks.
4? All right, man. Greedy. But I like you. I like it. I like it. So, okay, I'm going to give you Reed Shepard. I'm going to give you Amen Thompson. I'm going to have to stick you with the Fred Van Vliet to suck up some money.
Okay.
And what else? I'm going to give you to make the money work. I said Tari Eason. So let's go with Tari Eason. Okay, on that. So that deal plus 3 first-round draft picks.
Throw in one more draft pick.
No, I can't. I'm not going to budge. I'm giving you Amen Thompson.
All right, I tell you what. Swat Thompson not give me Şengün.
Şengün? That's a you want Noah Thompson and you want Şengün.
Give me Şengün instead. I'll take him. I need
All
a good center.
Then if that's the case, I'm taking off Shepard and Eason.
Oh, that hurts right there.
And I'm giving you an all-star, and I'm should I do two? Since he's an all-star level player, would I go 2 or 3 first-round draft picks?
3.
I know you would be asking for 3. What if I go 2?
I got to hang up the phone at that point.
Really, for Albert Şengün and 2 first-round draft choices? I remember I've got other teams' draft choices. I think I've got Brooklyn's. I've got as far as it's concerned as well. Let me just get Houston future draft picks. Let me just go ahead and let you know what I have. Let me just go let you know before you say no on that. Let me just go ahead and I'll say this. 2027. I've got Brooklyn. I've got the swap rights with the Brooklyn Nets in 2027. So that means that a year from now, they could be really bad still.
They most likely will be.
Mm-hmm. I've got a Phoenix first-round draft pick. No protections in 2027. I have, let me see. I have in 2029 Dallas and or Phoenix swap rights. Just letting you know what I have. Does that I have? Plus, I have a 2031. I have a 2032. I could also offer as well.
I like the Brooklyn pick. I know they're going to be terrible. It's an automatic lottery pick.
So, All right. Yep. Just so I give you 2 of those.
Give me 4. We got to do.
Oh, see, now you're going higher. I would just be like, we were just talking 2 or 3. Now you want to go 4, and I would just like, boom, just that phone would like go out the conference room, man, right there. That would just be tough. But T3 says the Bucks fired Coach Bud. They were given. They traded for Dame and kept Giannis. Brother Giannis is not guaranteed. I know, T3. That's what I'm saying. I say that if the Golden State Warriors get both Giannis Antetokounmpo and Miles Turner, because remember, Miles Turner was traded to Milwaukee simply just the fact to appease Giannis. And that if Giannis is traded, that's going to be an awful contract because you're just sitting on 4 years, $100 million for nothing with Miles Turner. Then you could either try to trade him somewhere else, or you could try to package a deal and see if you can get another first out of it. So that's what I was saying. That's why I'm interested as far as from Golden State standpoint. That gets them closer, but I don't know still that their depth in Golden State would be still an issue.
That great.
Yeah. So just wanted to mention that out there. But that was a good exercise as far as Giannis. But you can see all the different little nooks and crannies as far as what could be bandied about as far as possible trade pieces for that. So yeah, just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. And once again, it is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. It is me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this thing. Truly appreciate it. Tony says, realistically, what can the Lakers get for Austin Reaves? And that's a good question, Tony, because again, the problem with AR is the benefit of AR. And that's the fact that right now he's $13.9 million. That's he's a great value, a tremendous value at $13.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm calling Legend here and asking for a trade that would involve AR, guess what? At $13.9 million, that's not a great value for value. So it is so hard to construct a trade that is going to get you commensurate value for $14 million. Legend. I mean, let's say, okay, let's say you want Austin Reaves for Herb Jones straight up. I still think that if I'm the Lakers, I'm still not getting a full value on the deal, if I'm not mistaken. So,
I feel
I
like you
mean,
gave away a lot still, and that got much bad.
yeah, but that's but their value, commensurate value on dollar for dollars, because there's no one around $14 million that's at the level right now, unless they're on a rookie contract, that they're at a level that Austin Reeves is at. That's but YYC, you say IR will get his 35 million a year. He's not going
No,
anywhere.
no.
You realize that he can sign for up to 5 years, $241 million, which
Utah
with
just said they're paying big.
yeah, with my calculation, and if he goes to another team, if there's no sign and trade involved, that's 4 years, 180. So 241 divided by 5, $48.2 million on average is what he could be paid up to by the Lakers. Or if it's a sign and trade, let's say there's an agreement that take place. There's a sign and trade on whatnot. If it's just outright, when he becomes a free agent, he just goes to, like you talked about, New Orleans. You talked about, let's say Portland or somewhere like that. 4 years, 180. 180 divided by 4. And that's $45 million. So I'm just going to say this again. He has said in the past on one occasion that he said he would take less to stay with the Lakers. I'm not going to hold him to that. His career, his year this year has been so great scoring wise that it would not be in his prudent interest to try and seek his possible one time getting generational wealth for him, as far as it's concerned. Getting absolute, yeah, it's he would be crazy not to explore that possibility of trying to max out, because again, he's 28 years old and he's only going to get one shot at this when he is the marquee free agent out there for this for the NBA. So YYC says 5 years, 240 would be crazy. Again, that's what he can sign up to.
That's hard to pass up right there.
And if he's playing at a near all-star level, which he was strongly considered for an all-star before he got hurt, again, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? He is the marquee unless Trae Young decides to skip out on the last year of his contract. He is probably, as far as unrestricted free agents go, the marquee free agent out there on the open market. And with 6 to 7 teams that might have available cap space, again, you guys have to be realistic about this. And then you guys are holding on to something that he might have said or did say, back months ago. Things have changed. Things can change. This is his livelihood. And I understand he gets outside money from other sources, his Chinese shoe deal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But again, that never stopped LeBron from trying to max out all of his contracts. And
I highly doubt his agent gonna let him not think about it.
Oh, if I'm his agent, I would never. I would say, you know what? Again, you're 28. You have one chance to be the marquee free agent in the NBA. Don't blow it. Don't sell yourself short. YYC says Joe was saying he thinks well, don't YYC. This is not YYC. I don't know if he is best as a 6-man coming off the bench on a championship team. That's what he is to me and Joe. Joe and I have been saying this for years because of his defensive struggles. I think coming off the bench, Joe compared him to Manu Ginobili. I said again, 6-man off the bench on a championship team. We've been saying this for a while. That is where he's best suited for. But asking him right now, playing the way he's playing or getting the stats that he's getting with whatever on the line, is going to be hard to do. Now, when he comes back, possibly tomorrow, because that was going to be our next news items, Legend. He is now listed as questionable. And wouldn't you know it, because of the stupid floor in Cleveland, also questionable with left ankle soreness is Luka
Figured.
Doncic. Yeah,
Figured that was
so
gonna happen.
oh yeah, yeah. You saw as soon as it's right there. I'm just glad it's just soreness, and that's not the best I can say. So he'll probably one of them will probably sit out to Washington. But Austin Reaves coming back, I wouldn't be surprised if they have him coming off the bench because that's the trend. You know, if they're on a minutes limitation, have them come off the bench for now. But again, when we say the ultimate best position for him is coming off the bench, that's for a specific reason, Legend.
Yeah, because you just come off the injury, so you don't want to rush it, and you don't want to mess up any opportunity with the money you can possibly make this summer. Don't play around with your money. So I think to me, this is definitely where you want to really be careful on what you're doing, as well as having a chance to prior playing your first All Star game, too. So out with him, you want to really take all the precautions. Maybe take more precaution than even the Lakers taking precaution for you, because, like you said, Joe, it's a lot of money. It might be the most money he'll make his whole career going into free agency. You don't want to mess around and possibly jeopardize that off of a injury that you probably could have avoided if you just took your time really getting back into the motion. So I think he should probably do the right thing. Come out that big
And
ticket.
no, you're right. You're right. And my friend, I'm sorry. My apologies for interrupting. YYC is you're correct. If I'm his agent, I agree. I get the most I can. I would be doing my if Legend is my client and I know what's up ahead, I am not going to do him a disservice by saying, Legend, I know you love being with the Atlanta Hawks. And you know, it'd be really, really cool if you had signed for a lesser amount than what you could do there. That would be crazy as an agent. So of course I'm going to tell you, get the bag and as much as the bag as you can.
Yep.
That's what I tell you right
Secure
now.
your future.
Yes, exactly, because you never know what's going to happen. Um, YYC says for that kind of money, though, he has to be a solid second option, and that's the quandary I would tell you. So let's say, okay, because I've seen in some places, some outlets saying, oh yeah, it's a sure thing that he's going to resign with the Lakers, blah blah blah. So let's say he signs for $48 million a year or $45 million a year, whatever. He signs for. Again, is he a solid second option to you, my friend?
What's something else I would think about?
Yes, I agree. YYC says, do you think if LeBron comes back, do you think he plays for the minimum? I don't think he plays for the minimum. I think
I
he
don't know
comes
about
in some,
that.
I think some prorated rate if he wants to stay in LA. But I have a feeling what happened last night really moved him. I'm leaning. Didn't say it's 100%, but I'm leaning towards the final year in Cleveland. That's because
That's
I
what I'm
think
thinking too.
the between the article from last week and the sentimental video from this week, plus the fact that they love Bronny in Cleveland when he makes 8 points in what 5 minutes or so.
Yep.
Then yeah, that would be something. Yeah, which would
So
be
too.
fine. Why not? Absolutely, more power to him, and I would wish him well and to thank him for everything he's done here. And yeah, Cleveland. I would say it's a very fitting end. Probably that, but
You
yeah,
know
I
what?
think about that's a good. I'd say 15 million. I'd say 15 million will probably be because it's not a vet min. It's like a buy level. It's not a buy level, but it's like right there. Yeah, it's right there. You're right. You're right. That's a good number. 15 million right
But
there.
Jared, I actually agree too. I never seen him emotionally like that last night. I really get the feeling he's gonna go back to Cleveland, do the final season there. I think that's the right way to close the whole chapter. To go in, and they love his son too. So that's the part I thought that was really big. Like no matter how bad he played, they love him, and I think can't beat that type of sport being their own too.
But they have to be very careful because, like Isaac says, Cleveland can't match that right now. In the summer, they're still over the second tax apron. They're not only over the first, but they're over the second tax apron. So they have to figure out a way to get cute with LeBron and getting Bronny. Because I would have a feeling if LeBron goes to Cleveland, magically the Lakers would be inclined to say, you know what, Bronny, we're going to send you back there as well. But make sure you're with Dad. Make sure it's all nice and warm and fuzzy. and we're happy to go ahead and help
A
you and the
lot of
family.
people celebrating then.
Yes. Oh, I would. Joe and I would get the car. We would be so happy to get all his belongings and help him to the airport and be very very gracious and and kind and polite and respectful to Bronny. Say thank you for everything you've done here, Bronny. All right, and we wish you the best of luck in Cleveland. And absolutely, so that would be amazing. Absolutely. Tony says going back to Cleveland after being in LA, yikes. It just seemed like last night all the warm and fuzzy feels, Tony. And then after the nasty article, which supposedly has again, it's take it for what it's worth. It's all based on sources to Baxter Holmes, but Baxter Holmes did bring out those good reports on Phoenix, not once but twice, that prompted NBA investigations and also prompted actions by the NBA on that. So you take it for what it's worth on that. So
Writings on the wall.
Mm-hmm. So I'll just say that indeed. He thought he was in good with Jeannie, but I guess reading that maybe not so much. But I thought he was tight, because I remember
I
that
did too.
famous scene with him with Jeannie in one arm and Linda Rambis in the other. Man, if you're a Rambi, it's good to be a Rambi. You're just there, you're advising, you're doing, some cool work or in and around the top level of the Lakers. You're given a cool title. Basically, you're Genie's friend, and you get $8 and $24 million. Yes, it is intentional, the Kobe numbers, just because you were there when the team was sold for a valuation of $10 billion. So there you go. Yeah, must be nice. Must be nice. Like to have Legend. Are you worth that much? Can I just hang around you and just get like an 8 mil check? Is that possible?
Oh yeah, I'd be like, you want it in cash or check or cash out?
Well, you didn't have to pay it. Mark Walter had to pay it, as far as I guess the bonus is concerned. I mean, because that's what the bonus. Yeah, that's the bonus they got for being there during the sale of the team to Mark Walter. So there you go. But once again, it is, of course, NBA Observations, part of the Lakers Fast Break. It is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. And so before we head on out, we talked about Austin Reaves coming back into the lineup. He's now listed as questionable as early as tomorrow's game. Of course, Luka is as well. Talked about Giannis and the possible destinations. Any more trade rumors you want to discuss before we head on out?
The only other trade rumor that I feel like nobody really ain't talking about it, but I feel like it could happen. Like one of them hidden thing that could happen. I am curious to see what happened with LaMelo and the Hornets, since they're loving the rookie and it looks like they may be going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. The thing, though, with that, if this was 2 months ago, I would have said that's a highly likelihood that LaMelo Ball is going to be moved. But as you and I have talked about on this show, as far as is concerned, what the heck's got into the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah.
They've got the best offense in the league right now. They won tonight in Dallas. They have a resume that has beaten OKC handily. They've scored 150 on Utah. They beat the Lakers handily. They beat Minnesota handily. They've beaten a nice roster of teams. And with that, my friend, they're now find themselves, guess what? They're no longer a tanking team. They're closing in on being a play-in team, my friend. So with that, is there still an urge to go ahead and trade LaMelo Ball?
Maybe they don't want to trade him. They might have figured something out down there in Charlotte, turning their season around.
Kniple's been amazing. He scored 34 tonight. The thing is, LaMelo is no longer being asked to be the guy to have everything on him. I think that's the key. Everybody is maybe overlooking, Legend, is that LaMelo Ball is no longer he has to be the guy anymore that chucks up the ball, a three-pointer, with 22 seconds on the shot clock. He can just do LaMelo things and be a scoring and passing, a little bit more sound, disciplined ball handler. And tonight, right there in Dallas, 6 of 10 from 3, 22 points, 9 assists. only 3 turnovers. I think that shows that maybe he's starting to get the bigger picture, and maybe so is Charlotte.
Yeah, maybe he's starting to realize you don't always have to be the man to win games. You got to sometimes make some sacrifices, and you might really see how it's looking right now. You're winning ball games and probably beating opponents he probably did not expect to be beaten. So it make you kind of look at your game a little differently and say, maybe I got to make these sacrifices for us to win games and be a playoff team finally. So I mean, that's the part that probably is stunning. I think they might be the most surprising team right now the last couple of weeks.
Sal, that a week ago might have been hilarious. That is not as funny as you think. Saying Giannis should go to Charlotte.
I mean, it ain't funny no more than that. That could legit make sense. Yeah.
Yep.
They winning.
Let me go over to real quick some of the other notables. I know that Laker rumors have like Najee Marshall. Najee Marshall is a no because of the fact it's Dallas and the Lakers. I don't think Dallas is going to trade with the Lakers again for a little while. I think that the fan base in Dallas would absolutely get heated on that. So while Najee Marshall is a good fit to what the Lakers are doing, to do that again, I don't see.
They'll tear the roof down on that building.
Yeah, that's like that would be really awkward there. I know that DeAndre Hunter's name has been mentioned because Cleveland wants to dump his salary because he's no longer part of the starting lineup and because Jalen Tyson has played so well. No, I don't want that's somebody again for 23, 20, it basically 40 some odd million over the next 2 seasons, Legend. If you're giving me first round draft choices,
maybe.
Okay, baby, we'll talk. But you have to be giving me that when to stick me with DeAndre Hunter, who I originally drafted for Atlanta many years ago.
Yeah, I would be willing to take him if you give me some like draft picks, but just him by himself, nah, I'm good. I'm good on that one.
YYC, let's just say it's a straight up. Wait, see, the thing is, the Lakers are limited in what they can do as far as what they send out and what they get back. Because remember, they're only $1.1 million under the second tax apron, while Cleveland is over it, and they can only trade one person. They cannot trade multiple people. They cannot attach more than one person. They only can do one person in a trade, as far as they're concerned, as long as they're over the second tax apron. So that's the problem and quandary that they're in. So yeah, that would be really hard. Okay, you can't do DeAndre Hunter for Dalton unless you add another $20 million to it, and the Lakers don't have that unless you would consider Rui the closest to it. But still, I don't think the money works, even if that's the case on that. So yeah, I just don't see it happening. I just honestly don't. But again, if you're doing that, DeAndre Hunter coming to the Lakers, give me some draft picks. I want draft picks. Yeah, because DeAndre Hunter's not playing in your starting lineup now. He has had an up and down career with Cleveland, and I don't trust it a bit, even though he fills some of the needs for the Lakers. But Tony says, Gerald, do you see Lakers making changes or waiting until the summer? It's put to like this. I know that I've said it. I know that Joe said it. I know that Empire Jeff said it because Joe said it last night. Even that Empire Jeff said it. The Lakers have a small amount of assets. You can only make a small amount of trades. So if they make changes from here to next Thursday, it's only going to be something along the fringes. It's going to probably get you guys upset that the Lakers won't do more, but unfortunately, they just don't have the assets to do that. And if Giannis somehow slides to the trade deadline without being traded, it might be the best move that the Lakers don't do a whole lot and just save all those draft picks, just save that draft pick and then they can accumulate more during the summer. Your thoughts, my friend? Do you see the Lakers making changes or waiting till the summer?
I think they'll wait till the summer if they can't get anything significant wise. Because you don't want to take a chance and just make any deal. You could wait till the summer when you have more money available and more draft picks available. And you can possibly get something better and more useful for the long run. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do much. I get a feeling they're going to do something, but I don't think it's going to be what everybody probably want to see. I think it's gonna be the summertime you see the major stuff.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything that's going to rock the world or anything like that. They just don't have the versatility to do so. It's just there's not enough that the Lakers have in the cupboard. Except, but if you want expiring contracts, oh, we got that for you. If you want pick swaps, oh, we got that for you, legend. If you want that, yeah, we got that for you. We can give you lots of that if you're going to give us a lot of good stuff in return. And but the thing is, when it comes to expiring contracts, Rob seemingly has a vision to let those contracts expire over 26 and 27 and accrue a lot of cap space therein.
Yeah, for some reason he loved them. He loved them aspiring contracts. He loved to give them player options and all. So yeah, it's his favorite thing to give away.
Danny says, could we get Lou Dort? I know Lou Dort's name has been passed around as far as OKC because it looks more and more like that Lou Dort probably will not be retained long term in OKC. They'll probably let go of him or trade him. What does he have right now? Let me see. Go ahead and I'll see what he has on his deal right there. Let me go here for that because I haven't looked at his in a while. Luke Dort is 18 million, 2 years.
Hmm.
So, and I'll be looking for an extension next year. And he's playing. He's actually, Danny, to be honest with you, he's been shooting terribly this season.
Yeah, he
Right.
is nothing like last year.
Yeah. He's still a great defender. He's still one of the dirtiest players in the game, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, his 40% shooting last year is not really what it once was. And if you go to the stats right now and you take a look at it, he's shooting 35 right now from distance. Not terrible. I mean, that's right in line with most of the Lakers right now. So, but he's not shooting the 41% he shot last season or the 40% he shot the year before, Danny. So you're getting a shooter that's having a little or player that's having a little bit of less of an impact offensively. No question what he does on the defensive end, legend, but offensively, it's not as good as it once was. I would probably lean away from a Lou Dort trade as of now.
Yeah, because his offense just haven't been that great. Still can play some defense. Like you say, he's still on that dirty side. I think the other night he about jumped on top of somebody. I don't know if he did that on purpose or that was an accident. Hard to say when it comes to him, but the offense has been pretty sketchy.
It has been, so we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibility. But OKC has a lot of defenders that could replace him in that starting lineup. And it's clear, I think, that they want to get that cap space of Lou Dort. Lou Dort will probably be traded in the summer. If he stays out through the rest of the season, he'll probably be traded in the summer because remember, all those SGA has already kicked in, but Chet, his extension kicks in, and so does J Dub. Those two extensions kick in. It's going to make OKC a lot more expensive team. I know that Joe has discussed it on the show, but that's basically going to make the around the fringes of those three look a lot different over the course of the next few years, and it'll be interesting. That's the question I have. With all the assets they have, will Sam Presti continue to press on those right buttons, legend, before we head on out?
I still think he's gonna still try to squeeze as much lemon out the lemons that he got. Try to get as much as he can out the fellas, but he ain't gonna lose any sleep losing like Lou Dort or anything like that. All them draft picks, you can find another Lou Dort in the draft for a much cheaper price, and someone who might be a little bit more hungrier too. Someone who has more to prove at the moment and trying to make a how can you say trying to make themselves worthy to be in the NBA. I should say.
Absolutely. So yeah, we will see what happened. Uh, any chance the Lakers trade for another center? Silver's asking, and that's a good question.
Mm.
Uh, what I mean, Nurkic is the one that's being named. Funny again, like I said the other day. Interesting how Yusuf Nurkic, once in the doghouse, once not playing at all. I think for Portland, once his career started to go south there. Phoenix was where he really died on that bench, if you remember that. I think last season, And now all of a sudden in Utah, because he's had 3 straight triple doubles, now he's like, ooh, Yusuf Nurkic. Ooh, I like him. I like him.
They were the advertising.
Yeah, exactly. They're showcasing him in Utah right now, and I'll just say this: he's one that a lot of teams might be interested in a rental for this season. If that's the case, I think the Lakers, Danny Ainge is going to give you a hard bargain. He's going to try and ask for a first. He's not worth a first to me. What would you pay for a Yusuf Nurkic to be on your team, especially with your team, the Golden State the worst, who do need a center?
I am definitely not giving my first round picks up for him, but we need a big. He will solve that issue. Maybe I'll look at some of my young pieces. Maybe I'll be willing to give up a young player or two, and maybe I'll throw one draft pick in there.
Isaac Claxton does have a declining 25 to 23 million. I think it's like 48 over 2 years. They'll want a first in Brooklyn.
Free throws. I don't like about him.
He owns the record, Isaac, for the playoffs. He owns the dubious record 0 for 10 in a playoff game from the free throw line. He's better at free throws this season. I think he's in the 60% range now, thereabouts. But yeah, again, I don't, that alone I don't trust him on. But the fact is, again, Brooklyn's going to ask for a lot for him. That's the case. So again, Nick Claxton, good, solid player. I wish he was a little bit stronger in the leg area and the lower body area, but he still is a pretty good player. But yeah, for what you're getting, I don't think he's worth that, giving up your final first.
Allegedly. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
Would you do it on Golden State?
I need a bid, but it's just that free throw shooting part.
He's 64% right now. It's the highest of his career.
I'll think about it.
Okay. All right. Just letting you know, he's averaging 12 and 7. Not earth-shattering by any stretch of the imagination. About a block and a half a game, but he would give you guys a little bit more inside presence. But Tough So says Nurkic will take care of our rebounding problems. He throws diamonds and can score. Not sure about his defense. Well, he's tough. You and I both know he's like an old age veteran. You have to play drop coverage if you have Yusuf Nurkic on your team. It's just that simple. He cannot guard out there on the perimeter, or if he gets switched onto. So you have to find a way for him to be effective out there in the drop coverage. Tough So, but yeah, it's interesting how a guy that was riding the pine in Phoenix after he had lost his starting spot and DNPs, all of a sudden is refreshed and reborn again. So,
gotta love the NBA trade deadline.
Isaac, great question. Gerald, do you think DA takes his opted? Right now, I say no. If it continues on this decline, I say yes. But right now, I would say no. He thinks he's right now he's a 13-8 player, and he thinks that's worth more in the league than what he would be making next year. But if it continues to go downhill like it is right now,
might not have no choice.
Yeah, then I have a choice. Then the Lakers would probably want to trade him if that's the case during the summer. Danny, would Draymond Green be good for our Lakers, or is he that bad, Uncle Joe? Well, legend, Joe's not here to curse 15 million times when talking about Draymond Green. So let me know your thoughts. How is Draymond Green doing this year? And I think that'll answer your question, Danny.
He ain't been that great. If you think you're getting Draymond from the Dynasty era or 2022 season, you'll be disappointed.
His defense is still there to an extent. It's not that level, but his offense has taken
gotten worse.
Yeah, it was never great to begin with.
It's kind of ugly. It be some moments you just want to change to shine.
Yeah. So again, that's the problem. He offensively, they're going to leave him open for shooting threes, and that's obviously never been a specialty, and it's not gotten any better this season. But also his temperament, Danny. Is he at 13, 14, or 15 technicals right now?
I think 13. I think.
Okay. Okay. Well, that means like Luca, he is very close to getting himself suspended. So,
Let's
yeah,
see.
I don't think it would be a good fit to have Draymond Green on this team, Danny. I know that you're not the first to suggest that, but if you really want to make Joe mad, ask that question to him. He'll go off, as Legend and I both know and seen. Yeah, he'll go off on that. What's going on, Craig? Lakers gave up their young talent. Yep. Every time somebody mentions Zubats, Craig, it just hurts right
Oh,
here.
he has 9 technical fouls right now. How about that?
9? That's
Yeah,
it?
that's what it said. I looked up on
Okay. But
online.
he's been suspended already once this year,
Yeah,
correct?
and I think so. So that can't be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Oh, there you
Hmm.
go. All right. Well, there you go. He's still got a few more to burn then. All right.
He'll burn.
Uh, but yes, Craig, I do miss Zubats. I was sad at that time. And when they traded him, I wasn't doing a show on the NBA at that time. As far as on a regular basis, I wasn't doing a Lakers show yet, but I was really sad at that point in time. I really thought the kid had a lot of promise. I remember watching him. He had gotten it was an ABC afternoon game. It was a nationally televised game in the afternoon on a weekend, and I was at the Fashion Show Mall, and I watched the game from a pizza place there in the mall. That's still there though, and yeah, he was the interviewee because he got 25 points. I think he got a double double if I remember correctly, but he got a 20 and 10 game, something like that. And he was interviewed after, and I'm like, I had already known that this kid had promise, and I just thought the world of the kid, and then Magic traded him for Mike
Yes.
Evan.
I still can't believe he did that.
But anyways, my friends, Isaac says Goodwin playing well. Too, of course. Yeah. Again, they had to make a choice. Rob made a choice. So pick Goodwin at a lower amount and get somebody else maybe, or get Marcus Smart. And Marcus Smart, to his credit, has been on the court. Now it's feast and famine on the offense, as you saw yesterday. But he has been on the court, and I'm going to have to give him credit for that. What grade would you give the Lakers assistant coaches? Well, Craig, that's a good question because they have two very tenured coaches in the league, head coaches that have been head coaches for a long time, and Scotty Brooks and Nate McMillan. And their defense is among one of the worst in the league. Their bench output is one of the worst in the league. So I C minus D. But then again, JJ is not getting a full pass from me right now either. I mean, there is some potential there with JJ, but he does make mistakes that young coaches make. But remember, JJ doesn't have the experience that many others do in the head coaching, Mark. So you can play in the league all you want, but it's until you actually step on that sidelines and get a lot of sideline burn that you come to realize that coaching is a little bit different from playing, Legend, as you know, because you're a coach as well.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's not the same from when you on the court when you actually coaching. Something I took me a little minute to use myself to figure out. I'm used to being the man, like, oh yeah, I'm running the play. I'm gonna be over here in the 3-point line, run y'all play. It's different when you gotta sit there and see things that my players just they ain't gonna see. I gotta try to call out. So it's just a different ball game and a lot of different X's and O's from my side of the standpoint versus them.
Well, I'll tell you what, Legend, it's been a great conversation. Once again, a special NBA Observations Live. I go ahead and I try to bring you at least one NBA observations per week, if not more. Most of my NBA observations are first sent to our members. They're available for our members first and foremost, usually. So I wanted to give you guys a taste of what's gone on. But I know you've got a great channel of your own, my friend. By the way, you can become a member for $2.99 a month if you wish. But you've got a great channel of your own, and that would be I Got Next Sports Media. So what's happening with your great channel, I Got Next Sports Media?
Well, I am planning to definitely do a live stream probably tomorrow just to talk about the NBA trade deadline, the Giannis news. LeBron came back home. I'm have a chance to talk about that tomorrow. I think I'm gonna probably bring up the WNBA because I think they're gonna head into a lockout. I'm gonna definitely talk about that, how that could affect their season going forward, and then we're gonna get ready to talk about a little bit of the Super Bowl that we finna get ready to see.
Just want to mention before we go, Brett Siegel has talked about on his Twitter, said about the discussions for DeAndre Hunter have continued. Again, I don't know how they're going to be able to work that out as far as logistically. They're going to have to use a third team if the Lakers really want DeAndre Hunter. Um, I'm not in love with DeAndre Hunter, but I could see him being traded to the Lakers legend because that seems like a Rob Pelinka thing to do, to get a contract that's not the greatest, to get a player that's not playing their best on here because of what he used to do. So again, if you do that, Rob, get some first along with it. I've heard the Nets being talked about here, as far as Brett Siegel's thing, as far as getting Day'Ron Sharp and Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith, I don't believe has played as yet this year. He's been injured.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So yeah. So again, I know that was mentioned by one of my German counterparts as far as talking to me on that, as far as what they see as far as Haywood Highsmith. Again, a good defender. But again, he's been out all year with an injury. So we'll see if I'm assuming he's coming back soon if that's the case. But Day'Ron Sharp being a possibility as a additional big man, 6'9" big man as a backup. We talked about Claxton. What are your thoughts on Day'Ron Sharp before we head on out?
I think he'd be a good, good piece to pick up. I think he can definitely help out and give a little boost to the bench.
But it doesn't move the needle. Again,
Yeah,
these are small. DeAndre Hunter, as far as Day'Ron Sharp, Haywood Highsmith, they're just fringe. They are along the fringes, and all you're doing is you're shifting your focus away from the summer 2026 into the summer of 2027. And that's really essentially what they're doing if that's the case, because this is not a team that even with that lineup is going to win now. DeAndre Hunter does not change the fortunes of the Los Angeles Lakers. Day'Ron Sharp or Haywood Highsmith do not change the fortunes for the Los Angeles Lakers. And let's just get real about that. But again, with so many different, for so few assets the Lakers have, that's just not good. Someone says Dalton a second, Vando for Thibault, getting off of Vando's contract for next month. I would love that. I'd do that in a heartbeat. Someone I would do absolutely would do that in a heartbeat. I would help fly Vando, take him to the airport and be able to say thank you for all your services for what you've done for the Los Angeles Lakers. And there you go. Joe and I would do that because we're not on Vando Hill. We've made clear that not on Vando Hill. I know that some people are, and more power to you. If you are like in Cleveland, you saw it within a minute span him playing good, and then you saw him making a lot of key mistakes as well. So among many mistakes from the rest of the team as well. So again, we're not in love with Vando, and I know he's here on for multiple years, but I would take that in a heartbeat. Thibault is a Vando like in that he's a one-way player. He's not an offensive guy at all. He's more of a defensive guy. I know he's in the doghouse in Portland right now. He has not played a whole lot for Portland, but yeah, I would take that in a heartbeat. Someone just like I said to get off the expiring money. That would be do that in a heartbeat. Yeah, get off of Vandal's deal. Do that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I'd do it. All right. With that said, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break NBA Observations. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I know it's not our usual deal, but I thought we'd just stop you guys, just do something for you guys a little out there as far as a little treat out there. Being able to chat with my good friend Legend. We'll be back tomorrow for the post game between Washington and the Los Angeles Lakers. Will Luka play? He is listed as questionable. Will Austin Reaves play? He is, for the first time, is listed as questionable, so he could play as well. So go ahead and make sure you check out the game and then come right back at us here on the post game. Yep, early game tomorrow, which absolutely sucks, but what are you gonna do? For me, Joe and John, we're all Legend loves these early games for the West Coasters because
that's a decent time for me.
Yeah, they're a decent time for him. So we'll see what we can do, but we'll try to get it close to game time finishing as far as you can, guys. We will go ahead and come back at you with the post game. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts and possible trade movements, possible trade rumors. We'll have that all for you right here on the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Thanks again for joining us and watching some NBA observations.